Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rachakwadash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to the doctrine that's out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a really quick video. Um, I was, scrolling through YouTube, looking at some videos from the brothers, looking at some random videos from other people and things like that. And, things like, it just things around the world, happening and stuff like that. Esau, the one the world calls the so-called white man, right? Um, Esau, he's getting afraid, man. And honestly, like I keep saying, I think I've done a video on this. I think last week. Esau is afraid, and he absolutely should be because if I were him, if I were Esau, I would be too, right? Because they know who. I'm gonna get a scripture before. Well, let's get this first. Like I said, real quick video might only be 5 minutes or so. Revelation 12 or 12, or however long. Revelation 12 or 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." So these, I'm not talking about the average Edomite you see walking up and down the street, because they don't know any better either. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about those the higher ups, and you know what I'm talking about. Those elite bankers and etc. Right? You know what I'm talking about. The ones that control media, the ones that control and fund everything, pretty much. They know who we are, right? And the Lord gave them certain knowledge about us, so they could push out certain things that'll degrade us even more. It's like feminism and rap and this R&B stuff and all this other stuff, man. They know what we like. They know the things we like. They, as men, they know we gonna go for the woman. Well, now they put it out to where you can't have multiple wives, but you can have, if you're a man, you can have multiple husbands, or if you're a female, you can have multiple, which you can't have multiple husbands anyway as a female, but you can, if you the same sex marriage, you can have multiple of that same sex. They don't care about that, right? Which even in gay relationships, uh, they're failing, right? So there's no type of order here, all right? There's no type of order here, right? None at all. This is the darkness. It's the land of darkness itself, man. Job 10 in the last chapter, right? So the more as time goes on, right? We're going to start seeing more and more BS because they know who we are. They know what we are. They know what we like, you know, because the Lord gave them certain knowledge, right? So this is the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 8. It says, "And the Lord commanded the unjust steward, because he had done wisely." It says, "For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light." So there's a couple ways you can look at this scripture. There's a reason why I got this scripture, right? You can look at it, as commentary would say, and yes, you can look at it as, well, you have pretty much wise in their own way. You could pretty much say that they're wise in their own way. You're just pretty much quoting, people that are. I'm trying to think of a precept that goes into that. Like, we're looked at as, the children of light are looked at as, the outcast, and they're just looked at as stupid. But you got the other ones that are looked up as, astute and, wise in their own way, pretty much. So this is pretty much what that's quoting, right? Rather, this world is stronger, like Isaiah 30:6, I think, or is it 31? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. This is kind of like a precept to that. Because people make fun of us for saying that the scriptures are manifold. No, it's not that. It's Isaiah 30. I think it's 30 and um man. Um sheesh. For whatever reason I cannot remember. I think it's. Let me type this in. For whatever reason, I can't remember the scripture right now. And we're gonna go right back to woe to them that go to I'm messing up right now. Egypt. Let's just type that in. Give me a second. Woe to them that go to. This comes to show you that these scriptures, that these videos are not rehearsed at all. It's 31:1. Okay, yeah. I don't know why I couldn't remember it. So this is kind of a precept to that, right? Woe to them to go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. So this world is, looked at as strong against the children of light. So that's pretty much what that other scripture was really going into, right? You could also, um, look at this scripture as we said numerous times. Esau. What is this world? This world is ran by Esau, which means this world is Esau. So, and the philosophies, right? But they're considered, the wiser than we are, right? You gotta think about it. They got this whole healthcare system set up. They're very, very slick, and we're forced to do certain things, right? What I say, the financial system, the healthcare system, the judicial system, they got all this stuff, man, and one big trap that only the Lord is going to be able to break us out of, right? The Lord gave Esau that much knowledge, right? Which is why Esau knows exactly who we are and what we are, and it makes sense that he knows what's going to happen in the future. That's why he's making these movies like War of the Worlds, Independence Day. He wins at the end and stuff like that. They're pushing out, inoculations, injections and stuff like that. It's to take us further, or even the food, the food alone, that's something. To take us further away from the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And this makes sense why us, as Hebrew Israelites, are considered the biggest threat on the planet right now. We're not shooting anybody. We're not selling any substances to anybody that's gonna completely ruin them. We're not spitting on anybody, as those rats are doing to those Christians in Israel, right? What did I say? I think I already said we're not shooting anybody. We're not spraying chemtrails in the air. We're simply going out, right, expressing our freedom to speak, and believe in, what we believe in, right? We have Bibles. We go out and do our thing, and that's it. That's it. Somehow, though, we're considered a hate group, but it's keeping young men like myself out of trouble. This truth, this here, has made me do something with myself, man. That, that I can look at it and say, hey, the Wadi Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. That I didn't end up a troublemaker. This truth saves you, man. So, if you want to call us a hate group, fine. But this is exactly what Esau's afraid of. They are afraid of young men, young Jakes, right? Whether it be so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. And you notice I didn't say black, because it's not about black. Okay? Whether it be so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, they do not like for us, and the women too, they do not like for us to be something. And I'm not talking about somebody running up and down a basketball court shooting a ball in a hoop, or running across a field and giving and getting concussions and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that's worth something, right? Something that's going to better our knowledge, better our learning. And this truth is the only way that's going to do it. You know, it doesn't matter what degrees you have. It doesn't matter what school you're taking. Look, this truth is the only way, man. Right? The Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is the only way. And that's exactly what Esau Edom is afraid of. And like I said, I would be too if I was in their position. I most definitely would be. Man, I'll try anything in my power to stop this from happening, man. But they can't. They can't. They don't want us coming back to our heritage. They want us to be some kind of average, upstanding citizen, which I don't think anything is wrong with that. You don't want to be out here, just a troublemaker, right? But let's say you are just the average, upstanding citizen. You're still away from your heritage. What is that going to get you? You're still American. You're still under Esau's influence. So what is that going to get you? Like I said, that's fine if you want to, like I said, no troublemaker. You working, you doing your thing. Cool, I respect that. But now you got to take it a step above now. You got to come back to your heritage. That is important. But you got a lot of people out there that say, well, I don't care. I mean, I'm here and, it's got nothing to do with me. Yeah, it has everything. It has everything to do with you. But it's not meant for everybody. It's only but so much I can say about that, man. It's just not meant for everybody. Right? And, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be destroyed. It is what it is. You don't have to be a troublemaker to be destroyed. Right? Like I said, you got a lot of Jake out here that are not troublemakers. They just go to work, come home, and do their thing. Like I said, it's respectful, but you're still gonna be destroyed. If you're not with the Lord, then it is what it is. Because you'll still be the same ones that somebody approach you. You'll probably call it a hate group or have some type of opinionated response with it. But it's like, okay, well, you're gonna be destroyed then. There's nothing you can do about that. It's no getting out of it. It's no gray area. That's what I'm saying. There's no gray area. You're either with the Lord or you're not. You can't be that neutral in between person. Because the Lord don't go for that. And especially now, these days, you're going to have to pick a side. It's getting ready to get to that point now where everybody's going to have to pick a side. Right? So, that's all I got on this video, man. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM RACHAK without Shalom.